Welcome back to another episode of Destiny Fashion Theory. I'm Big Daddy Teej, and today we're going over the fashion I picked for my Titan going into the Witch Queen. This one's going to be a little bit different though, as it's going to feature me choosing an exotic primary weapon and armor piece meant to benefit a build craft put together to feature Void 3.0 during the Legendary campaign. I really love how this one turned out, and I hope that you guys enjoy the excellent look that I'll be leading off with on 222. I think there's a few we can scratch off the list right away. Sweet Business is a little bit too much of an obvious choice. And I just don't feel like, even though with a 40% bump it'd probably be pretty memey and fun, I could just use Actium War Rig to do that. It just doesn't interest me as much. I think I would rather use something a little bit more tactical than no. It doesn't suit me as a player, as a guardian. Sturm, no, off the table for sure. Vigilant Swing, while I think Vigilant Swing will be fun, its perk just doesn't lend well to PvE. I went through a ton of exotic primary options, and I think I ended up choosing something that's really going to stand out in a unique way. JUJU is another one. Again, classic D1. I feel like it kind of gets it's almost making a mockery of Savathun's Throne World. Because I just like found very earthy bones and just like tied them to my very sci-fi pulse rifle. Like, haha, look, I'm the Hive, and I get a little bit of joy from that. I also think it'd be really strong in getting supers up quicker during campaign when there's so many ads that you can just kill it. Also, reloading on every kill has a lot of utility there, and a 40% bump in damage just doesn't hurt. I just think that it's I just think this is really, really strong. So what I'm seeing with Bad Juju, and I'm using this to kind of think about a theme, is that obviously we have, there's a few sci-fi elements here with a little bit of glowing on the gun. The gun's obviously royal blue, right? I've done some, but then this instant kind of mixing in of kind of a fantasy, voodoo stuff here, right? So it almost makes me want to kind of go classic. Keep it a little bit classic Titan. There's a ton of armor options that actually support various elements of Void 3.0 on the Titan. So really what it came down to for me was being able to choose what's going to be fun to use with Bad Juju and Subclass 3.0, but also adhere to the kind of aesthetic theme established by choosing Bad Juju as my primary. That sucks. All right, so let's do some elimination. Insurmountable Skull Fort. Nope. Mask of the Quiet One. A hot maybe. The only thing about doing this is that obviously no matter what ornament you pick of the two, I guess this is a little more sci-fi, but I hate this. I really don't like damage stuff. I'm like a baller Titan. Why would I have a big chunk missing from my, this is a little too Ultron for me. So then thinking about this is very fantasy, right? This is me draping chainmail over my hood to intimidate my enemies. And I'm not opposed to it because it kind of fits well with the idea of Bad Juju, where I've simply taped or tied bones to a weapon. And the fact that there's a light behind it actually kind of feeds well into the idea of Juju. So maybe this is a pretty top contender for me right now. One-eyed mask is a possibility. I know it's a cliche, but this is a very good mid-game exotic with a decent ornament. Actually looks really, really good with the Bad Juju because the Bad Juju has a beak on the front, and so does this. So honestly, this ornament for one-eyed is not off the table because I think it lends pretty well to the idea of using Bad Juju. Keeps me alive for longer. So I tried out things like Syntheseps, One-Eyed Mask, Mask of the Quiet One, even Armamentarium and Actium War Rig, but really those were just not quite right. What I ended up picking was something that, quite frankly, was a total sleeper hit, and something that I think is going to be super duper fun come the campaign and Void 3.0. Void 3.0 brings the throwable Void melee that can apply Volatile. These make powered melee kills explode, and when you pair that with Volatile, it'll make explosion real big. Yeah. Guys, I think it's Severance Enclosure. Holy cow, that's so exciting. Bad Juju and Severance Enclosure. Nice. Now that I've picked out an exotic, it was important to me to be able to equip legendary gear that would allow me to support my Void 3.0 build with the correct stat allocation. So I went over to D2 Armor Picker, link in the description, so that I could choose the correct pieces of armor that would both support me from a function and fashion standpoint. Okay, let's take a look here at this, right? So this is kind of, this obviously has, I've got Severance Enclosure selected as my exotic. Right here. And then, so this is kind of how I'm doing a breakdown, but I've got like near limitless options right now, and that feels like kind of crazy. So I guess what I'm going to do then is think about another tier 10, trying to add another tier 10 to this. I actually can't add another tier 10. Interesting. Okay. So where we want to go next, we maybe want to go to like a tier 7 discipline for more nades. And that would allow me to get up to tier 50 mobility for some good aerial action. And then maybe even a tier 4 intellect and a tier 4 resilience. So that's a pretty good stat distro for this. So what is the singular armor set that they're going to let me do with this? Because I imagine it's only one. Yeah, it is just one. Let's take a look. Whoa, raid gear. All raid gear. Holy cow. All right. Good to know. Why jump when you can punch? Cheers. Okay. Let's get in here and start digging in. Now it's time to actually start the fashion. I've got the right gear on with the right stat allocation, and I've picked an exotic. Now I need to shade that exotic so that I can start to define the color palette for the rest of the look. So here's what I'm kind of getting from a vibe from this right now. So this actually helps me out big time because I've decided how I want to play. I've picked a weapon I want to use. And now what we're seeing here is that you've got this kind of sci-fi, really heavily augmented. Like, this doesn't necessarily look like magic. This looks like science, right? I mean, you look at the way these cables are all connected to the chest piece. I am being empowered through the augmentation of this exotic. Okay. So really, looking at how this chest piece fits with the Titan build that we just made, I got to think about expanding out from here. We're staying away from a lot of fantasy elements. We're staying away from a lot of the, like, you know, leaves and things that would look more natural. Does your Titan happen to be an exo? Certainly does. Yeah. Certainly does. So once we're looking at this, from here, we can kind of pick a shader. All right, so we're going to look at the shaders here and figure out what looks good on here. The only thing that I have to think about, too, is Bad Juju can't get shaded unless I change the ornament, and it is royal blue with green. It doesn't mean I'm going to adhere to that for the Titan, but it does mean that I don't want to look like clashy with it, too. So the cable look even goes a step deeper. It's true. Yeah. Exo? Yeah, dude. Okay, so that's pretty bad. This is a new shader I got online. I actually don't hate this. There were a ton of shaders that actually looked really good on Severance Enclosure, and it made it really, really difficult to pick the right one. Gunmetal Marigold was one that really stood out as something that could have been the right color palette for a bunch of different armor sets. But ultimately, I ended up back on Terrachroma, as I think it's just the perfect balance of armor and color pop. So, in choosing the exotic, typically E and then C would go to chest. The fact that they share means that I go to H, which is going up to the helmet. So we're picking out a helmet to go with Severance Enclosure. I want to kind of mess with some ideas here that feed into this idea of very science-driven. Like, I feel like this helmet should be very grounded in reality. And feel like we're really building off a set here. So that means I'm avoiding stuff like this. Like, this isn't going to be the play with Severance Enclosure, obviously. So like stuff like this is okay because it's got, you know, a visor. It's a very human looking helmet. You know, we've got stuff like this that you know, this is a little bit too much. All right, again, same kind of problem we had before. Okay, Welcome to the Reef. I think this is okay, but again, a lot of this ornate, more fantasy stuff is just not where we want to be. To believe it or not, the one I've actually got on here works really, really well. So it may end up being that stays, but we're going to keep looking to see what else kind of is hiding in here and find out what might work also. So this one could work as well. I think it's a little bit, again, too much magic kind of inside. We're not going to do the anniversary helmet. It's a little bit too memey. Testing helmets was way tougher than I expected. And I thought I would have to settle until I found something that completely caught me off guard. I've not thought about Gambit Prime Armor in a long, long time. Gambit, I think the green actually kind of works because of the green that'll be on Bad Juju if I run the default Bad Juju. So actually, that's not too terrible. This shader's not great, but that green doesn't change. So as we come in here and make changes to this, we might be able to get something that looks pretty slick. On this. Now, I also kind of like this because it makes it look like, you know, you're going into like into Savathun's throne world wearing like you're a Titan, but you're wearing like a mask because it's like, you know, it's like a fake intimidation factor, right? Oh, I have teeth too. Hive, come at me. You know, like I don't know. There's something about that that's always like I find interesting. This is a contender for sure. I just have to figure out if there's going to be a decent enough shader that might work with it. Some of these do like a really good job just putting blacks in places. Like this actually, that may work pretty well. How does that red feel with the red on the chest piece? Actually not bad. That actually feels pretty good. Okay, let's mess with that for now and see, because I think that you get a very nice grounded reality look here with some strapping, and obviously JUJU's got the same strapping, like you tied with leather bits, and like you got this strapped onto your helmet here too. I think that's pretty cool. Actually, the white glow really pops, which matches the white lettering on the chest piece. So now it's just boots, legs, and class items. So I think for Titans, I need to pick the gauntlets next. So we need to get some ideas going here for gauntlets. I need to, again, have them kind of rooted in reality, like I've been focusing on here. Sometimes during the armor testing process, you're going to get to a point where there are certain pieces that just aren't quite right, but help define and make informed decisions about things like silhouette. So use those as your new baseline and compare all your new pieces to that one. Okay, so these might be a little bit too curvy, I think, with the lines on them, but this is actually, this silhouette is not bad. The bigger shoulder plates, again, the kind of strapping on the arms is actually not bad. I don't hate that, so that wouldn't be something, that would be something maybe to look for as I'm kind of browsing here. Okay, Black Armory. These are huge. But I do like them. I think they are very Titan defending. I like that the Black Armory symbol is in the same white here. I also like that the red fabric in the undersuit shows on the arm sleeves. Makes it like I'm wearing it, you guessed it, the same shirt here, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that doesn't feel too terrible. I really like those. It's important to test as many options as possible, even after you think you found the one. Then you have something that you love to compare to everything else. I think these are my favorites. They scream Titan. They feel like they flow pretty well with the rest of it. You know, you can see like these little like curvy bits here on the Severance enclosure that like flip out and like have little shields are kind of remind me of this bit doing the same thing on the top of these. And obviously these like little plugs with the circular elements here, circular elements and little plugs. Pretty good. All right, so we've got helmet, chest piece, and gauntlets down. The exotic is done. And now, of course, we are looking at probably boots. In order to pick good boots here, I'm going to want to take a class item. I'm going to put this class item on because it shows most of the boots. The boots were absolutely the hardest part about this whole look. I took so long to find the right ones. A lot of them looked really, really, really great up close, but just so wrong zoomed out. Let's keep flipping through. So we've got the Gambit ones. Too much glow on that one. That's no good. These are pretty slick. Okay, so for this, let's take a look at these. They're definitely... I'm definitely getting a little bit of like a skipped leg day vibe. Guys, I'll be honest. I tried so many boots and shaders. Like, so many. And it was almost impossible to find the right set. And to be honest, I was really starting to lose hope because I just didn't think there was going to be something that was going to work with the stuff I'd chosen. But like, in those moments, it's so important not to give up. You've just got to keep going, keep testing, keep checking stuff out. And eventually, that perfect piece is going to become so clear. I really like that. I think I need to try some shaders on this. Try to get some shaders to do some stuff with. Does that turquoise accenting match the turquoise in the chest piece? It does. And we get a black pant out of it. A little bit of white, not too much white. Oh my gosh, I think we got it. Okay, we got to do a class item. We're almost there. We're so close. Okay, we're so close. We're so close. I need to have a modern class item. Ooh. 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 How about something ultra small and just keeping it mega simple on the Titan here? Titan Marks actually had the opposite problem that the boots had. I had too many good choices. Rather than pick out the first thing that I liked, though, it was important that I exhaust more options that would lead me to the exact right piece to complete the look. Okay, here we go with Gambit. Titan Mark. This is pretty slick because this really gives... Ooh, this might be a big win here. So this, we get some red pouching, which the canvas material makes a lot more sense on a leather belt. It matches well with the coloring. I might actually change the color of this to try to see if I can get it to do something a little bit different. But that is very nice. Let me see how some different shaders look with... Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Look at this. That feels very complete. Oh yeah, baby. I think we got there. So this is the final look that my Titan's going to be using come the Witch Queen. As you can see, I've used 4 different shaders on the 5 pieces of gear, and all the gear comes from different sets. I just think that that's worthy of a couple of extra bonus points for myself because, man, I just think that's so cool when stuff lines up like that and it's all from different places. The finishing touches for this were absolutely the ship, Ghost, and Sparrow. And I started here with the PRAGMAT Harrier ship in a beautiful neutral gray that I think just goes kind of with everything, but also captures that very science-based utility that the rest of the outfit has. For the Sparrow, I picked the Tilt Fuse and tried to tie in some of the color scheme from Bad JUJU. So really getting this purple, blue, and holographic green, I think really drives home the look and provides a really nice complementary backdrop to my Titan. So when you're looking at him here, he's got the Bad JUJU and then a Sparrow that kind of has some of those colorful elements popping out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely drop a like and subscribe to my channel as we're going to have lots more fashion content once the Witch Queen gets rolling. I want to know about your Titan look. Reply in the comments with the outfit that you picked, and definitely let me know if this guide helped you define the right look for your Titan going into the new Legendary campaign. I want to remind you guys that you can save 10% using code Teej on all your Gfuel orders as I'm partnered with them, so it's a great way to support my content and save a little cash on the side if you're a Gfuel drinker or been dying to try it for the first time. All of my social media and Discord links will be in the description, so feel free to check me out and join the community on more fronts than just YouTube. As always, I've been Big Daddy Teej. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you out there.